Pergola patio cover made easy with a little bit extra. So about a year ago, I made a DIY patio cover, pergola cover at our last house, and FlexPatio saw it and they reached out asking if I wanted to do a comparison to this build. And so yeah, obviously a DIY approach is going to take a little bit more time, there's a lot of variables. And throughout this video, I'll talk about comparing the experience. I love this. This was a really fun build. You can certainly do this. However, obviously the advantages with a kit like this FlexPatio is just going to be faster. It's really easy, it's simple, and there's a lot of bonus features that we'll get into. All right, so let's go with a quick install. Here you can see I needed a little bit more space. I thought about doing pavers, but you really need a good solid base for your pergola. You probably could rock this on the grass or dirt. You don't have to pour a slab, but for me, because I'm going to do the roller shades you saw at the beginning, I want to make sure everything's kind of uniform. So we just poured this little extra space. Got to get my kids involved, put some handprints in, make some memories. They like to be in all my videos anyway. But you can see the space. We went with the 13 by 13 kit. They have 10 by 10s, 10 by 13. I have a little bit of a slope here. The directions are really, really simple, and it'll talk about if you have a slope, which side, which piece should be. You can see I have a little overhang there in the gutter. So there's a little bit of configuration, but this was just the perfect size for us, for our family. And yeah, we love to be outside, and so a great pergola kit. So the assembly is really simple, right? We are using 2 ladders. You could pull this off. 2 adults probably want a third person here. And so my wife and I and one of our sons did most of the helping. Really simple. You really just put everything in place, a couple screws, a couple bolts. It is very, very simple and straightforward. But I do recommend 2 ladders. Just makes things a lot easier, a lot simpler. But everything just kind of slides into place. Get everything square, and then you just crank that Allen wrench, get everything nice and tight. And that's the main structure, and it's sound, it's strong just as is. You probably want to read the directions a little bit closer than we did to make sure you put the bottom plate in first. But there, you can kind of get a feel for where it's at. And at this point, this is where you could kind of move it around. If you're like, yeah, I need to slide it over a bit. So we kind of slid it over just a skosh, just kind of found out where it was at. And then, yeah, we had to lift it and put it at an angle because I forgot to put the brackets on the bottom. It was like 95 degrees, which for us in Washington, that's hot. And so we just weren't thinking clearly. Anyway, was able to remedy the situation rather easily. Just put those plates on the bottom. But you can see it's solid. Right now, it's just connected like so. Eventually, it does come with kits to anchor it into the ground, concrete anchors. We chose not to do the full anchoring because we're going to possibly move it again. But anyway, it's in place. It's great. It's set. Rinse and repeat. You do not have to do this step if you just follow the directions, which again are really simple. They also have some videos. So as far as DIY versus this kit, the kit is way easier. I've seen a lot of other kits, wooden pergolas and other ones like the Costco ones. There's so many pieces, so many parts. This is just really easy. But this one has power, and there's all these connections that are super waterproof. We'll get into it, which makes things just so slick. For the LEDs, if you want to do roller shades and all the other stuff. Obviously, the motorized louvers for the pergola, so you can get sunlight and you can have waterproof, all kinds of things. Here, all the wires have their own different channels. You're not going to run into the rain and the issue. And so again, a huge advantage of this as opposed to the DIY approach, everything has like built-in gutters. And so these channels, it already has like a natural slope built in. So all that water can just run through those channels and then it goes down the downspouts. You don't have to add gutters, but it's pretty simple to install. But just that waterproof feature is just great. And especially here, you can see there's a separate channel for the cords to go down. Then there's a cover, and then the water will just go down the other downspout. So anyway, the first setup, really simple. Now the louvers, really, really easy. Once you start in the right spot, again, read the directions, and you'll get going. So my wife and I just back and forth, back and forth. A drill does make things faster. You can use the Allen wrench that it comes with, a little, but adding the correct bolt hex wrench adapter works great. We ran out of daylight, so my son and wife kind of worked on it the next day while I was at school, and even ran out of daylight again there before his football practice, so had to do it a little bit more with my father-in-law, and they made a great team. But this really is a half a day project, I think, to get the full base up. Maybe a little bit longer, just depends. It was just really hot for us, and we had life and things happening, but way faster than any other type of project if you're going to do the cuts and all that kind of stuff. And so, all right, here I'm just adding, they have a built-in power station. So you have all the wiring up top and the channels, but there's also, the cords you can run down here so you can have power inside. So if you end up having the glass doors or the shutters or the screens, you have power integrated, and you can really easily plug in things here. You could have a tablet there, other things. And so that integration of power is really nice. We'll talk about that with a heater later. Maybe you want to do a fan or other things. But again, all the cords, that is a big feature of this unit, is the integration of cords and power. Now here's a look of what happened after a little bit of rain. So we had some rain, kept everything dry, all the water stayed up top, it catches, it runs down, and it goes down where you want. Well, here is our other canopy. Look what happened, right? And so obviously, we did canopies for years and years, but look at all the water that got caught in there. So you can see we had quite a bit of rainfall. This was a pretty, about an inch of rain, our rain gauge said, and everything just ran down. Down the little trough, and it went right down where it was supposed to, ran down, didn't run into the wires. And then if you lift this little piece off down here, you can see where the water goes out. So there's no need for building in, a gutter system. It's all there. That was a big headache, an extra step with my DIY approach. So if you're looking for simple, that is, again, a really great feature. Also, the fact that you have louvers, so you could have roof or no roof. You could open them up. So here we have it, right? It's catching all the rain. The website will talk about the specs for snow, all the slope, but everything just pops out right there. It's really slick. It's really slick. And here again, you have the integration where the wires go. Keeps everything nice and dry, so none of the wires are going to get in contact with the water. But you can open. They can open, so you can add in sunlight and have like a pergola effect, or you can have it closed for the rain. All right, well, want to show the lights. So the LED strip comes with all of them. So it has the dimming feature. Obviously, you can dim it down really low, or you can go higher. You can change it to all the different colors you want. My sons and nephews were playing. We had campfire time, and we're playing card games outside, and it was plenty of light. We actually had it on a really low setting, and then we decided to mess around and up the light, the brightness. So it's got the dimming capabilities. You of course can go like full techno mode with all the different colors. Have yourself a little rave. But yeah, plenty of light right there. And especially if you end up having like the roller shades or doors, enough light in there. You don't need to have like a light outside, but all kinds of cool lights. We can do the strobe effect, the cool different color changing. It was just really fun. And so, bonus, the DIY one I had, it did not have the lighting like this. So you're gonna have to come up with another solution, but this is just, it's all seamless together. And maybe you're not a big fan of all the different colors, but it is fun. Maybe you're gonna bring, a TV out here and you have your sports team and you can do it thematic. But it's a great spot. This is a great spot for some outdoor living, bringing that out there for all the different applications. We'll explore some more, but I just wanted to showcase the lighting a little bit here. Oh yes, the ambiance, so great, so much fun. All right, that's the lighting. So there are loads of other options as far as walls. You can go without walls, or you could add these like shutters. You could do glass doors. There's a lot of different options that you can get, and you can check on the website. We went with the screens. Went with the screens. One, obviously, it's going to protect different sunbursts and give us some shade, but it's also going to keep the sideways rain. It's going to keep the rain out, up and down. And it actually does a little bit of insulation for the heat. This thing is so simple to install. It really was pop, pop, pull some screws out, put it in. They actually even have videos for installation and the plans. But again, for simplicity, super easy. This is something that I really wanted on my DIY approach. We used it year round and we try to use it in the winter. But even with that sideways wind, with the rain, or when it was really cold, we'd have heaters in there, but the wind would just whip through there. And if you have these shutters, or excuse me, if you have the screens that come down, then that's going to cut down on the wind as well. And so I think that's a great option. And that's one of the things that really excited me about, partnering with FlexPatio on this. And so it works awesome. Installation, really simple. You can see we ended up going with 4 panels. So the whole thing can be enclosed if we want to. But what's great, you can just do, I just want to do one wall because here's, prevailing winds here. It's really simple, easy to program the remote, for the channel for the louvers, for the lights. Yeah, it's pretty cool, buddy. It's pretty cool. Anyway, it's simple. This is real time. You can see about how fast you can pause it midway if you only want it down so much. If you want it to go all the way to the ground as well, you can. Really, really simple. So you can just play around with that remote. It is cool. It's got bonus features. That's awesome. So here, each side is individually programmed, because you might want one side down and another side not. So, here's channel 3, and there's channel 4 and channel 5. You can see, can have the whole thing enclosed, so we can put in heaters in here. We can keep the bugs out. If there's a sun glare, sure. But I'm really thinking about this for the winter months, the rain and the wind. It's going to keep it warmer in there. We can be outside more, get that good old fresh air. So I think this is a massive, massive bonus. This is my favorite feature, for sure, along with those louvers, with the rain system as well. But pretty cool to mess around with all of the possibilities, with these electric auto curtains, auto shutters. Screens. The word is screens. These screens are fantastic. You could go with the shutters or those glass doors if that's what you want. But again, want to give a little love to the louvers here. Just see how simple it is where they're just opening up. And so now you have the beauty of a pergola where you can let the sunlight in. You can look up, stars, meteor shower, fireworks night. You can look up, to the sky. But if you're in an area that gets that rain, like we definitely do in Western Washington, you just close those suckers up. The double layers, extra protection, and it just, keeps the rain away, keeps you nice and dry, and it works great. Really simple. So those auto louvers, it's clutch. It's so, so nice. Works so well. But you can see, the process. You can adjust them as well if you don't want them to be, fully open. You can just tilt them. So it's not like you have just open or closed. You can adjust, to whatever angle you want. Like I just want a sliver of light, or whatever that might be. And so again, pretty cool. You can see those LED lights during the day. That's mostly a nighttime thing, but at night maybe you need a little bit more on a dark, cloudy day. You're doing something out here with the family, playing some board games, some card games, or maybe doing some other cool stuff, like you see on the channel with, woodwork or laser work. Now they do have a heater that they came out with, and so it's really simple. I use some similar heaters, for my DIY build, and the mounting system is really slick, really simple to put this thing together. And what's great is you can put it anywhere you want. So it's got the same type of cable where you can run it. It's concealed cables, you don't see it, but I can put these anywhere. And I was surprised at how much heat it did give off. So it's pretty solid. And then if you have the screens down, any winds coming through, it can just knock that wind out. And it's great. So worked really well. And again here I'm like, actually I want it over more. So it's just, there's these little hooks on the back. You can just slide it over. There's plenty of cord, lots of different cords that come with the different kits, depending on where you want it. I think they are planning on doing a fan eventually, but any other electronics, if you wanted to do a TV mount in here and run your cables, possibilities. So pretty slick. So here it is with the heat. We got the lights, we got screens down, and so this is daytime. It's still actually a pretty cool effect, but it actually was nice and toasty in here on a cold fall day, with the wind whipping around. So there's a little look. But here are some of the other options that you can see on their website. I definitely recommend checking out the link down below just to learn a little bit more about this. I've been seeing a lot of different motorized pergolas on my different feeds on social channels, but they really, kind of go into comparing themselves with other brands. Really slick, and you can see all kinds of other features on what it can do, give you ideas of, oh, sure, a carport. Here it talks more about the wind resistance and snow, if you're curious about that. Again, comparing to other systems. Of course, just a lot more on the sidewalls, give you ideas of what you could do for, other spaces. I know a lot of people do these for outdoor kitchens, or, whatever you want to do. So many different possibilities. Got user reviews, some more how-tos, some more Q&A. So definitely check it out. At least learn a little bit more about this to see if this is the right fit. But it definitely is going to save you way more time than the DIY. It is going to be pricier than a DIY option, but there is so much, tech in this, and it's going to last. And you don't have to worry about wood and the upkeep of, having to sand and stain and refinish the wood each year. All the other things, of course, we have the different sizes. You can do 10 by 10, 13 by 13. That's the size that we went with. You can even do 13 by 20 feet. You can just do, or, next to each other. So cool options.
All right, well, there you have it, the FlexPatio Pergola. So much going on here. If you want to learn more about it, definitely check out down below to learn more about it. Some really, really cool options, lots of different configurations. Yes, this is much more expensive than a DIY option, but depending on your circumstances, I think it's really worth it. It's easier, it's way simpler, and overall, your time, right? Your time is so valuable. You can knock this out in no time. And then you have the other features, right? The fact that I can just really simply give myself some shade. If I want to, I can be waterproof. The DIY option that I did in my other videos, obviously we're just always dark. And so there's some days where I do want more light. The screens, right? Or the windows or the panels, you have a lot more options, right? It is so cool. All the great options. I'm really excited for the screens, not just for shade, but also for bugs. Even a little bit of insulation here you can see with the heat. So yes, to learn more, check out down below, check out the link, learn about this. Yes, this is sponsored, a little bit different from our normal content. Normally it is DIY projects. There are some cool new machines and new opportunities that I can show and showcase. But if you want to see stuff like this or some of the other stuff, consider subscribing if this video added value for you. All right, questions? What else do you want to know about this? I definitely plan on doing a review after a year with this, just like I did with my DIY patio cover videos as well. Well, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.